Several years ago in Holland, a man named Gerard Endenburg tried an experiment. He tried running his company sociocratically. Now, sociocracy is being used in a lot of companies around the world, and I want to tell you about some of the benefits, why you might want to try running sociocratically yourself. The first story is about a company called Creative Urethanes. Creative Urethanes is a specialty plastics manufacturer in Virginia, and during the Great Recession a few years ago, they were getting phone calls from people saying, "Hi, we've been your customer for 15 years. We're going out of business. Cancel our order." And the company soon got into a major crisis. Could they survive? The president of the company was distraught. He thought he would have to close the company, but they got together what's called the general circle, the key people in the company and the representatives of the workers, and they said, "What are we going to do?" And they thought together. They figured out who they would lay off. They figured out that they needed to reduce some of their scrappage that they've been meaning to do for a while, and they thought of some new ways of trying to find business. And together they survived. Here's another story. Sociocracy changes cultures and organizations, and it can have a tremendous impact on workers. In sociocracy, somebody who's a worker is usually elected as a representative of the workers to the board of directors. It's called double linking. And in a company that was providing assisted living to elders, elder care, holistic elder care, called Living Well up in Vermont, we were having a retreat for the board of directors at one point. The woman who was the representative, I don't think had a high school education. She was a natural leader and was just like really wise. And we, people who were like, us intellectual eggheads trying to come up with a new branding for the company, were struggling with that. And this woman had been quiet for a little while, and she said, "Why don't you just say, 'Come home to living well'?" And we all sat there and thought, how clear and simple is that? And we had a new brand. So the leadership for us came from the person who was the least educated, from the bottom of the organization. Well, the story doesn't stop there. It turned out that as she realized that she had lots to be respected for, lots of value, that caused a conflict in her family. She didn't have a respectful relationship with her husband, and he did things like appearing outside the place where we were meeting with his arms folded, and she ended up deciding to quit because she couldn't stand the tension between an atmosphere where she was respected and the atmosphere she had at home. So going to sociocracy can have tremendous impact on individuals. I want to talk about an organization of a bunch of university professors. The organization for people teaching life sciences. They got a nice grant. They were running pretty well, but they were worried about how did they survive beyond the grant. We worked with them. They adopted the sociocratic ways of meeting and the structure, and they took off. The evaluations we have are fantastic, and they figured out ways to stay together beyond their grant period. It was a case of a pretty well done organization becoming outstanding. And that happens with sociocracy because everybody has a voice. When everybody has a voice, then everybody can think very creatively together. Interestingly enough, sociocracy seems to tap into everyone's spirit in funny ways. I have as clients people who are evangelical Christians and Buddhists and Jewish people and Muslims, and they all report that it seems to enhance their religious experience. The Christians were saying operating sociocratically in a meeting helped Jesus speak more clearly to them. The Muslims said that the sociocracy reflects the certain chapters in the Quran where Muhammad talks about people working together collaboratively and so forth. So the spiritual aspect seems to come out at the end of meetings. People often report feeling more energized at the end of a meeting than before. And it brings out the shadow side of people so that they can see what is going on, and deal with it and not have it be bothering you in the workplace. It brings in a kind of consciousness. We're all used to, seeing flocks of birds and swarms of bees operating together, or schools of fish, not all that smarter creatures acting in very intelligent ways. And sociocracy frees us up for that kind of emergent behavior to happen, almost as if when we get together and operate, that we have some sort of consciousness over the whole group that's guiding us. So, those are stories about why you might want to use sociocracy. You work together effectively, you create a new culture of respect, you create a human spirit in your culture.